Heartwarming miracle, abandoned 8-year-old girl discovers amazing kindness from millionaire. Lily stood alone on the cracked sidewalk of Maple Street, her small frame dwarfed by the towering brick buildings surrounding her. It was just days since her family had packed up and left, leaving her behind in this forgotten Midwestern town. She didn't understand why. Did they not need her? Her little heart ached as she kicked at the dirt, hoping to summon some magic to keep her family bound to her. As loneliness engulfed her, she wandered through neighborhoods that whispered stories of past joy. She learned the rhythms of her community, trading shy smiles with Mrs. Hayes at the bakery, who often tucked an extra cookie into Lily's bag. "You're too sweet, dear. Take it," she'd say, making Lily's eyes sparkle for just a moment. The old veteran, Mr. Jenkins, would share snippets of his adventures over the creaky fence as he mended his garden, and every story spun another thread into the fabric of her tiny world. Gradually, she discovered strength in these unexpected places. The shopkeepers, the park-goers each offered a piece of kindness that stitched her tiny heart back together. Yet the shadows of despair never really left her, they lingered, whispering of absence and loss. One fateful afternoon, while exploring the small park, Lily stumbled upon Mr. Hartman. The reclusive millionaire, a ghost of his former vibrant self, sat on a bench, his eyes clouded with memories. Curious but cautious, she approached, intrigued. "Why is your face so sad, mister?" she asked, her voice gentle. Hartman looked down at her, surprised by the innocent inquiry. "Just thinking about life, kid," he murmured. That question opened a door. Sparks electrified the air between them. He saw her spirit, and something in his heart stirred, unlocking buried pain of his own. They began to meet regularly. She learned about history, art, and literature. But as their bond grew, so did the whispers of the town, shadows stretching over them like storm clouds. "What business does a millionaire have with a girl like that?" the judgment echoed. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let us continue. As winter melted into spring, a charity event was announced to help struggling families in the town. It seemed perfect for Lily. She volunteered, pouring her heart into the preparations: painted signs, baked goods, and cheerful decorations. Memories of how kindness had saved her danced through her mind, urging her on. Yet, as the fundraiser approached, Mr. Hartman's past began to unravel, whispering secrets of old mistakes. The town's discomfort mounted as the cracks in their perceptions deepened. Would they see the loving bond between mentor and mentee, or an unholy alliance? In a few days at the gathering, fate would test their fragile connection. As the evening approached, tensions hung thick in the air, and Lily stood wondering if they'd all finally see the truth. Would they realize that despite everything, her heart yearned for a place to belong again? Would Mr. Hartman, this unlikely ally, be accepted among them? Caught at this poignant crossroads, Lily sensed the storm brewing. Would love and compassion rise above the tempest of judgment, or would shadows shatter the light they had fought so hard to build? The day of the charity event arrived, a kaleidoscope of color bursting through Maple Street. Banners flapped in the gentle breeze, and the comforting scent of fresh pastries filled the air. Lily stood at the entrance, her heart fluttering with a mix of hope and fear. She adjusted the name tag pinned to her shirt, her small fingers brushing against the worn fabric. Volunteer, it read, a title she wore like a shield d'armor. Hartman had arrived early, just as he promised. He stood at the makeshift stage, discussing logistics with the volunteers. His graying hair tousled slightly in the wind, and for the first time, Lily saw a hint of the spark that must have once defined him. She felt it too, the warmth of possibility igniting within her. As the clock ticked toward the event's start, townsfolk began to stream in, each carrying whispered judgments in their eyes. She spotted Mrs. Hayes chatting with Mr. Jenkins, their faces lighting up in friendly conversation, but the moment they turned to see Mr. Hartman, their smiles faltered. Lily's heart sank as she caught snippets of their hushed tones. "Just look at him, sitting there with that child. What does he want with her?" Anxiety threaded its way through Lily's chest. This was supposed to be a day of joy, yet shadows loomed over her newfound family. She glanced at Mr. Hartman, who caught her gaze and gave a small, reassuring nod. In that moment, strength surged through her, the event kicked off, the crowd buzzing with excitement. The laughter of children mingled with the sound of clinking glasses and clattered dishes, creating a symphony of community. Lily moved about, helping set up tables and offering baked goods to each guest. She filled cups with lemonade, her heart racing with every smile she shared, but the whispers didn't fade, they lingered like a bitter fog. As she handed an oversized cookie to a little boy, she overheard two women whisper just behind her. "Look at him, trying to buy her love." The sting of their words felt like ice on her warm heart. Were they thoughtlessly ignorant, or did they fundamentally misunderstand the bond she cherished so deeply? Lily clenched her jaw, pushing down the hurt. She thought of the cookies Mrs. Hayes had given her and the stories shared with Mr. Jenkins. Each kindness they offered had filled voids, stitching new threads into the tapestry of her life, but then amid the laughter and chatter she saw him retreating to the corner of the park. Mr. Hartman's shoulders slumped, like the weight of the world pressed down on them. Her heart twisted painfully. This wasn't just about her, it was about him too. Without thinking, she dashed through the crowd, her little legs carrying her to the very man who had shown her what it meant to feel truly seen. "Mr. Hartman," she called, her voice cutting through the noise. He turned to her, eyes weary yet glimmering. "Don't listen to them. You're a good person. You've helped me more than anyone else." His gaze softened, and she could see the conflict in his eyes. "Lily, you shouldn't have to carry the weight of my reputation," he replied, but she shook her head. "But it's not just you. It's us." He blinked, and she pressed on, "We're building something special here. They don't understand." The words hung in the air, electric with hope. Suddenly, it was all too real, their bond, the love that had grown between them, even in the face of shadows and judgment. Silence fell around them, the distant noise of the gathering fading into the background. In that moment, it only felt like they existed. Would they stand firm against the tides of doubt? Was there a way to turn judgment into acceptance, a path forward built on understanding? Lily took a deep breath, her heart racing with possibility. Before she could voice her thoughts, a loud crash pierced the moment as a table collapsed nearby, sending lemonade flying and drawing gasps. The event's joy held its breath, but would it hold together, or would chaos unravel everything they had worked to build? Lily's eyes widened as the lemonade erupted like a fountain, splattering across the bright yellow tablecloths and staining the nearby grass. The laughter and chatter that had filled the air dissolved into gasps and murmurs. Every face turned toward the chaos, and the joy of the day teetered on a knife's edge. "Stay right here," Mr. Hartman urged, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder before rushing toward the wreckage, his expression transformed to one of concern. Lily watched as he knelt beside the toppled table, picking up cups and trying to comfort the children who had been startled by the sudden ruckus. Her heart felt heavy in her chest. The happiness of the event felt so fragile now, like a spun sugar sculpture ready to shatter, but as she stood frozen, the crowd began to react in unexpected ways. Instead of retreating into silence, a few volunteers laughed, reminding each other that accidents could happen to anyone. Mrs. Hayes flung her arms wide, calling out, "Let us have a lemonade splash contest. 2 for 1. A ripple of laughter broke through the tension. Children squealed with delight as the idea took root. They rushed toward the splattered area, picking up cups and launching lemonade at each other, their faces lighting up with pure joy. Seeing this, something within Lily began to shift. The whispers faded as the sound of laughter returned, lifting the gloom that had settled so heavily around them. Mr. Hartman, too, caught the enthusiasm, laughter escaping him as he joined in, splashing a curious little girl with his cup of lemonade. In that moment, everything changed. They weren't just a charity event, they were a community sharing a beautiful chaotic experience. Feeling emboldened, Lily stepped forward into the sunshine, her voice rising above the gathering. Everyone! We should help. She waved her arms, drawing attention. Let us clean up together. Then we can all join the fun. Without missing a beat, the crowd rallied. A few adults began fetching napkins from nearby tables, while others started arranging the flimsy tables back into place. Laughter echoed around the park as spilled lemonade became a playful story rather than a disaster. Mr. Hartman's eyes sparkled with pride as he caught on to Lily's call, helping to corral the chaos. Look at this team, Lily! He exclaimed. No one can keep us down. Together, they worked quickly, a mix of cooperation and childlike joy reviving the day. Lily felt a surge of warmth grow in her chest at the sight of everyone, strangers transforming into allies, each one with a smile that countered any remnants of judgment. As the tables were restored and the laughter grew infectious, a shift spread through the crowd. More people joined in, sharing stories and laughter rather than whispers. Maybe they're not so bad after all, Lily thought, hope blossoming like the flowers that surrounded them. And then, just as the fun seemed cemented, Mr. Hartman turned to her, his expression shifting as a deep seriousness returned. Lily, he said slowly, I think it's important we have a different conversation, about what it means to find family, and what those whispers can never understand. Lily's heart fluttered again, unsure whether this meant more support from him or a moment that could shatter the fragile peace they had just built. She was almost afraid of what he might say, but curiosity nudged her closer. Like, what exactly? She asked, her voice softer now, intrigued and anxious all at once. Mr. Hartman took a breath, the weight of his words heavy in the gathering sunlight, but before he could respond, another crash shattered the moment. This time, it was a stack of chairs, tipping awkwardly into a pile on the ground. Everyone turned, their laughter replaced with another gasp of surprise, as Lily's own heart tried to decipher where this new chaos could lead. Would this wandering tale of second chances and emerging friendships continue, or would another challenge threaten the bond they were starting to forge? Lily stood at the epicenter of it all, feeling everything shift again, wondering how much more she could learn about kindness, courage, and family. The chairs clattered to the ground, a loud punctuation to the joyous chaos that had just begun to settle. Lily felt her breath hitch, her body tensing as the crowd swirled with surprised expressions. It was as if the world had paused, hanging in the balance, waiting to see how they would respond. Mr. Hartman straightened, a flicker of anxiety crossing his face before he broke into an encouraging smile. Looks like we might need another lemonade splash. He bellowed, his voice rising above the crowd. Instantly, his playful tone sent a ripple of laughter through the air. Lily watched in wonder as he turned the situation around, his eyes glinting with the spark of enthusiasm. The laughter returned, bolstered by the spirit of the earlier fun, and before she knew it, two children grabbed the fallen chairs, starting a makeshift game right there among the remnants of spilled lemonade. Catch! One boy shouted, tossing a chair in the air as if it were a beach ball. Lily couldn't help it, she laughed along with everyone else. Each chuckle began to untie the knots of worry in her stomach. The energy shifted, flowing from one group to another, binding everyone together like a warm, electric current. All right, let us get these chairs back up, shouted Mrs. Hayes, joyfully commandeering the scene. And just like that, the adults fell into line, grabbing chairs and tables with renewed vigor. It was a tapestry of movement, a collective effort to restore not just the space, but also the joy. Lily pitched in, she felt a rush of belonging. Everyone around her was smiling, and as they worked side by side, she caught their glances. Strangers exchanged small talk, laughter bubbled up, and conversations bloomed among people Lily had only known from afar. Hey, Lily! Called out a girl from her class, her voice bubbling with excitement. You should be seen how far I splashed Tom with lemonade. Really? Lily replied, grinning. I think you're going to need a trophy for that. In the midst of the fun, Mr. Hartman approached her again, his expression thoughtful. You see this, Lily? This is how we become a family, how a community can come together in surprising ways. She nodded, a warmth spreading through her as she soaked it all in. But then, curiosity nudged her heart. But what if people don't understand? What if they only see the mess? He leaned closer, his voice steady. Sometimes, Lily, it's about how we respond to the mess that defines us. When we lift each other up, the whispers fade, and real connections are made. She searched his eyes, wanting to grasp the deeper meaning behind his words. There was something powerful about them, an understanding that reverberated beneath the laughter and splashes. Just then, as if the universe was playing a trick, another crashing sound broke through their conversation. This time, a group of toddlers had knocked over a large basket of snacks, its contents scattering across the grass like confetti. Lily blinked, her heart racing. But Mr. Hartman let out a light chuckle, and her nervousness began to dissolve. Looks like the fun isn't over yet. Come on, let us help again. As they all rushed toward the scattered treats, Lily's spirit soared. They were facing challenges together, laughter ringing loud and bright, turning chaos into community. Yet in her heart, she felt that same tickle of anxiety from before. What if something else went wrong? Would their newfound bonds hold fast against yet another upheaval? Lily shook her head, determined to push her worries away. She was learning that family wasn't just about sunshine moments. It involved laughter amid the mess, a connection that could withstand anything. But as they joined forces, she realized that not everyone felt the same. Some faces still wore hesitant smiles, their gazes darting back to the toppled chairs and scattered snacks, uncertainty etched into their features. Mr. Hartman, she called, tugging on his sleeve. Do you really think we're all going to be okay? He paused, studying her intensely, and for a moment, everything around them faded into the background. You know. What, Lily? I'm certain that as long as we're together, we can handle anything. She took a breath, feeling lighter, but the uncertainty still sat in her gut. Just then, a gust of wind swept through the park, rustling the nearby trees. And in that very moment, she caught sight of a familiar face in the crowd, standing apart from the fun, a face she hoped wouldn't bring back those whispers after all. Lily, wait, Mr. Hartman called, but she was already moving toward the figure, her heart pounding with equal parts fear and hope. Would this encounter shatter everything they'd built? Her mind raced as she approached, the laughter behind her fading into a distant hum. The day had turned into something she never expected, but now, uncertainty loomed overhead once more. Lily's heart raced as she drew closer to the familiar figure. There she stood, Rebecca, the girl from school who had teased her endlessly about her mismatched outfits and hair that refused to be tamed. She had often been the source of Lily's worries, and now, with all this laughter surrounding them, Rebecca's appearance felt like a storm cloud rolling in. Lily, she called, her tone surprisingly soft, yet Lily could sense the weight behind it. Can we talk? Alone? The laughter from the party faded all around her, and she felt a knot pull tight in her stomach. What could Rebecca want? Would she catch her off guard and unleash the same old taunts? Or maybe she really wanted to apologize. Either way, all of Lily's courage felt fragile at that moment. Sure, she replied, her voice wavering, a fear of the unknown creeping back in. She stole a glance back at Mr. Hartman, who watched with concern etched on his face, as if he could sense the battle brewing in her heart. They moved to a quiet corner of the park, the sounds of laughter becoming muffled, only the distant whoosh of wind in the trees and the rustle of leaves break the silence. The air felt charged, electric with a mixture of anticipation and dread. Rebecca shifted uneasily. I didn't come here to fight. I actually think you're pretty brave for standing out, even if I didn't say it before. Lily blinked, taken aback. She had almost expected a harsh remark, not this. Brave? Yeah, Rebecca continued, scratching her head in a gesture that was oddly familiar. I guess I didn't understand how hard it could be, hanging out with people and trying to just be yourself. Everyone else trying to fit in, you know. A wave of warmth washed over Lily, but her defensive walls were still up. You didn't have to bully me, though. I know, Rebecca admitted, her eyes filling with sincerity. I was just trying to fit in too. And honestly, I'm sorry. I never meant to make you feel bad. I want to be better. Lily watched her closely, searching for the truth in Rebecca's face. This was the moment she never thought would come. After all those years of hurt, did she really want to open up? Okay, Lily finally said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind inside her. Apology accepted. A smile cracked her lips, unsure but hopeful. Thanks, Rebecca replied, relief washing over her. Maybe we could start again. Together? The question echoed like a spark in the air, igniting something wistful in Lily's heart. Maybe this could be a chance to rewrite their story. Maybe the laughter, the mess, the chaos of that day had opened a door to something deeper. As they turned to head back, the sounds of the celebration grew louder, the energy palpable. But just then, another gust of wind rushed through, an unexpected chill brushing against Lily's skin. She shivered, glancing at Rebecca beside her, and her heart began to race once more. What if this new beginning was met with skepticism from their friends? What if Rebecca's past returned to haunt them both? Hey, Miss Brave! Mr. Hartman's voice rang out, pulling them both from their thoughts. You coming back to help us finish cleaning up? Lily smiled, an echo of laughter woven into her response. Yeah, I guess we have some messy work to do. As they approached the crowd, the warmth of connection began to settle into her heart. Every step felt lighter, every shared laugh brighter. But would this feeling last? Would the whispers fade, or would they return to complicate their fragile truce? Just as they reached the party, a voice cut through the air, sharper than expected. Lily. It was her mother, scanning the crowd with unease. Where have you been? I was worried. Lily glanced back at Rebecca, unsure if the moment they shared was strong enough to withstand the scrutiny. But as she held Rebecca's gaze, a flicker of determination sparked between them. Perhaps this newfound friendship could weather any storm, yet, the questions remained. Would they truly face their fears together? Or would the past shatter what they had started to build? Lily took a deep breath as she approached her mother, uncertainty bubbling in her chest like a shaken soda can. Mrs. Thompson's worried expression only added to the weight, and she wondered if Rebecca had truly changed or if this was just a fluke. Mom, I was just talking, Lily began, her voice thin. She wished she could stay in the safety of their conversation a little longer. The laughter from the party felt like a jarring contrast to the vulnerability she had just shared with Rebecca. Talking? You scared me half to death. Her mother replied, her voice tightening. You need to be careful. I know you're trying to fit in, but you need to look out for yourself too. Lily's heart sank. She didn't want to hear fit in again, not after everything that had happened with Rebecca. I can take care of myself, Mom, she insisted, defiance creeping into her tone. But as her mother's eyes softened, a part of her felt guilty for the battle brewing between them. Okay, her mom said, holding up her hands in surrender. Just remember, you don't have to face everything alone. Friends are supposed to look out for each other. Lily's stomach twisted. If only her past with Rebecca was included in that advice. But standing beside Rebecca felt different now. Maybe her mom wouldn't understand that. As they turned back toward the joyful chaos of the party, Rebecca caught up, a little breathless and smiling shyly. So, you didn't run away from me. The tentative joke brought a spark to Lily's lips, even if her mother still had an eyebrow raised. Didn't think I'd escape that easily, Lily shot back, feeling a tug of camaraderie awaken in her chest. Mrs. Thompson's eyes moved between them, curiosity mingling with concern, as if she could already sense the new dynamic forming. Well, it's good to see you two together. Why don't you lend a hand with the cleanup? She suggested, taking a step back, perhaps sensing the connection blooming despite the tangled history. Sure. Let us do it together, right? Rebecca's eyes sparkled, a flicker of excitement reverberating between them. As they dove into the cleanup, picking up plastic cups and paper plates, a strange unity began to shape between them. Laughter erupted over the tiniest mishaps, and Lily felt a warmth spread through her, like the sun breaking through after days of gray skies. Maybe this was a fresh start, but as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the park, doubt crept in again. Groups of friends gathered nearby, whispering and laughing, their eyes glancing casually in her direction. Lily caught snippets of conversations, and each darted toward her heart like arrows. Did you see how she's with Rebecca? No way. That last one voice cut through the joyful noise. Lily's stomach dropped. Could they really change? Could Rebecca really become someone she felt safe with? The naive whispers wrapped around her heart, a warning that something could still go wrong. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the park. A metal dumpster tipped over, sending trash flying everywhere. Laughter erupted from the crowd, pointing fingers, and Lily couldn't shake the feeling that they were laughing at her now, at the choice she had just made. Let us go help. Rebecca exclaimed, her face a mixture of amusement and determination as she dashed towards the disaster. Fighting through the swirl of anxiety, Lily followed, reminded of how hard she had fought for this moment. But would stepping into this new friendship mean embracing scrutiny, too? What other storms might lie ahead? As they reached the chaos, Lily felt a surge of boldness, but a lingering fear gripped her heart. What if the whispers returned, louder this time, and shattered this fragile connection? She took a deep breath. Would she be brave enough to find out? Then the festival music shifted, a soft ballad filling the air, and for a brief moment, Lily felt hope rise even higher amidst uncertainty. But would it be enough to face whatever lay ahead? The chaos around them was electric. Laughter erupted like fireworks, and Rebecca's determination felt contagious. As they approached the toppled dumpster, the mess sprawled before them like a symbolic disaster, random pieces of trash mixed with her shaken confidence. But there was Rebecca, brimming with laughter, and for a moment, Lily's heart lightened. Okay, let us tackle this together. Rebecca cheered as she grabbed a stray pizza box. Lily couldn't help but smile. It wasn't just the humor in the situation, it was the way Rebecca made even a disaster feel fun. As they worked side by side, the initial awkwardness began to fade. The tension slipped away with each chuckle, each shared glance. Slowly, Lily realized she was not just cleaning up trash. She was also confronting her fears, silently scrubbing away the doubts that clung to her heart. When they picked up a plastic cup, Rebecca pointed and said, "You know, if we keep this up, we might just be the cleanup queens of Marigold Park." Her playful spirit made Lily giggle, and at that moment, the whispers around the park faded into the background. But just as Lily started to relax, the noise returned. She caught a whisper, the laughter that sliced through the camaraderie. Look at them. A poor little girl and her bully. This won't last long. This time, the words hit harder. Doubt threatened to seep back in like a chill. Hey! Lily suddenly shouted, spinning to face the group. Their faces turned toward her, surprised by the interruption. You don't know anything about us. We've got this figured out. Rebecca looked at her, eyes wide. There was something both audacious and vulnerable in Lily's defense. The whispers quieted, but they lingered in the air, like smoke from a fire, with a mix of exhilaration and fear. Lily turned back to Rebecca, who smiled tightly. You sure showed them, she said softly. But you know, it's okay to be scared too. Lily paused, her heart pounding. I don't want to mess this up. This friendship, it feels different. Like it could really be something. Her voice dropped to a whisper, fear creeping back in. Rebecca nodded, and for a moment, they were lost in each other's gaze, a connection forming in the thick air. But then a loud group of friends passed by, the chuckles starting up again, crueler this time. Do you really think they can be friends? I give it a week, one laughed, and Lily flinched, her heart racing. They didn't understand, they didn't see what she saw. She felt Rebecca's tension beside her and the warmth of their earlier laughter felt distant. What if they're right? Lily murmured, more to herself than to Rebecca. Doubt was the devil, whispering its poison. Rebecca stepped closer. You can't let their words define what this is for us, Lily. This is ours, not theirs. Her eyes sparkled with a determination that filled Lily with hope. For the first time, Lily felt the exactness of her emotions shift. She could either let fear control her or embrace the beauty of what was unfolding. You're right, she said, her voice stronger. Let us not let them ruin it. Suddenly, the music shifted again, the energetic festival tunes dancing around them, pushing away the weight of negativity. They needed to reclaim this moment. Let us polish this clean up, then we can celebrate. Rebecca grinned, her enthusiasm breaking through the lingering shadows in Lily's heart. Celebrate? Lily raised an eyebrow. Absolutely. We can treat ourselves with cupcakes, just us two. The thought sent a thrill of joy through her. Cupcakes sound amazing, Lily replied, laughter bubbling up again as they resumed their work. As they finished picking up the last of the trash, an unbreakable bond began to weave between them, binding their aspirations for friendship together against the doubters. But as they started walking back toward the party, determined and smiling, the relentless whispers continued at their backs. What if this newfound friendship was more fragile than it seemed? Would they really be able to withstand the storm brewing around them? And as they made plans to seek sweetness in life, uncertainty lingered on the edge of their smiles, ready to reveal itself in ways they could never anticipate. The sweet aroma of fried dough and melted chocolate wafted through the air as the girls approached the cupcake stand, a colorful display of sprinkles and frosting catching their eyes. Each cupcake looked like a tiny masterpiece, daring them to indulge. Lily's heart raced with anticipation, each step pulling her further from the doubts that had haunted her. Which one should we get? Rebecca asked, peering at the rainbow of options, her smile infectious. The laughter and energy from the festival felt like a warm hug. They finally reached the stand, and for a moment, their worries receded, replaced by the sheer delight of choosing their treats. I think I need the biggest one, Lily said, pointing at a towering cupcake draped in thick chocolate frosting. It looks like it could solve all my problems. Rebecca chuckled. Then I'll take the strawberry explosion. It matches my personality. As the vendor handed them their goodies, Lily felt a wave of excitement wash over her. Maybe, just maybe, they could be more than what the others thought. They were carving out a space for themselves, one cupcake at a time, with their treats in hand. They wandered over to a shaded bench, sitting side by side. The vibrant festival buzz surrounded them, music, laughter, the sound of celebration. For the first time today, Lily felt free, the whispers around them faded into the background as if they were in their own private world. What do you think we should do next? Rebecca asked, taking a giant bite of her cupcake, frosting smearing her cheeks. Lily couldn't help but laugh. I think we should start a cupcake club. Nah, too sweet, Rebecca joked, wiping her face. How about we just focus on having fun and being ourselves? Forget everyone else. The word struck a chord in Lily. For too long, she'd worried about what others thought. This moment with Rebecca felt like safe ground. You're right. Let us just enjoy today, she agreed, her resolve strengthening. As they chatted and laughed, the earlier tension began to feel like a distant memory. They both shared stories and silly jokes, each word helping to weave trust between them. And just like that, the bond of their fragile friendship started to feel sturdy, but suddenly, the air shifted. A familiar voice cut through their laughter, sharp and taunting. Well, if it isn't the Cupcake Queens. The girls turned to see a group of kids from school, snickering and posing like they were on a magazine cover. What do you want? Lily asked, her voice steady, though her heart skipped a beat. Just wanted to see what losers look like when they think they're having fun, one of them sneered, crossing her arms. The laughter that followed felt like ice water, chilling the joyful moment they were sharing. Lily felt her cheeks flush, doubt crept back into her mind, but Rebecca squeezed her hand, ignoring the heated whispers. Rebecca raised her chin. "We're not losers. We're having a great time, and you should try it instead of judging us." Lily held her breath, amazed by Rebecca's confidence. It felt like a shield, one that might protect them from the harshness of the world outside their bubble. They stood there for a moment, suffocating under the pressure of laughter and disbelief, but Rebecca's grip on Lily's hand felt grounding. Then, like the sound of breaking glass, Lily heard another soft voice from behind. "Don't mind them. You both look like you're having a blast." It was Jace, a quiet boy from their class who often lingered alone, watching the world go by. His words hung in the air, unexpected, gentle, and oddly reassuring. As the daring sentiment sank in, something stirred within Lily. Maybe the whispers didn't have to define them. Perhaps there was a way to rise above, to truly enjoy their friendship no matter what the world said. "Thanks, Jace," she said, a spark of confidence igniting. "We are having fun." But just as relief washed over her, the laughter from the other kids hit harder, reminding her that while they had each other, their fight was far from over. Would they really survive the scrutiny of their peers? Or was this friendship just a temporary escape? The glimmer of uncertainty loomed large, begging for resolution in the shadow of an ice cream truck that rolled by, ringing a familiar jingle. What new challenges awaited them? Lily took a breath, the sweet scent of sugar swirling around her, mixing with the bitterness of the taunt still echoing in her ears. She glanced at Rebecca, who was licking her frosting-covered fingers, a spark of joy lighting her eyes. For a fleeting moment, the world outside their little bubble receded. Then, it hit her again, the laughter from the group nearby. Each giggle felt like a punch, taunting, jeering. What if we can't really enjoy this? She thought, fear crawling back in. Jace stood there, quiet yet present, a lifeline thrown into choppy waters. It struck Lily that even someone like Jace, who often went unnoticed, could see them. "He gets it," she whispered to herself, feeling the warmth of gratitude. "Why do they care so much?" Rebecca blurted out, her cheeks still pink from delight and now frustration. "We're here to have fun. We're not hurting anyone." "Yeah," Lily chimed in, feeling a surge of determination. She didn't want fear to hold them captive anymore. "Let us make the most of this. We could ignore them and do something fun together, really fun." "Absolutely," Rebecca said, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "How about the balloon darts? I'm ready to pop some balloons. Count me in." Lily said, her worries momentarily forgotten as excitement bubbled back. They both stood, brushing off the negativity like dust from their shoulders. As they walked toward the balloon stand, Lily felt a renewal of confidence. The festival buzzed with energy, kids running, parents laughing, and the music pulsing through the air. She spotted a line of colorful balloons like a rainbow stretched across the booth and felt a little spark ignite in her chest. When they arrived, the vendor smiled brightly, handing them 3 darts. "Take your best shot, girls," he encouraged, clapping his hands together. Rebecca positioned herself first, aiming carefully. "Here goes nothing." She threw the dart, and it went flying, popping one balloon with a satisfying bang. Laughter erupted from their little group, and for a second, the heaviness of earlier moments lifted. "Your turn, Lily." Rebecca cheered, and Lily stepped up, feeling a rush of adrenaline. She steadied her hands, focused on the balloons, and let the dart fly. It ricocheted off a balloon, missing it altogether, but she couldn't help but squeal with delight. "I'll get it next time." "Of course you will." Rebecca grinned. "But look at that one remaining over there, wants to go next." With every throw, the laughter rang out louder, drowning out the whispers from earlier. They were in their own world, bursting through the walls of doubt, each pop of a balloon a tiny victory, and then, amidst their joy, Jace picked up his own dart. "Let me join you guys," he said, shy yet determined. With a careful aim, he threw the dart and hit a balloon square in the center. Cheers erupted from the girls, and Jace's face lit up with a grin he rarely wore. "That was awesome!" Lily exclaimed. "See?" Rebecca added. "We're like a team now." For a moment, the weight of judgment faded away, replaced with acceptance and laughter. But just as Lily absorbed the golden thread of friendship woven between them, she spotted those kids again. They were staring, whispering, shoulders shaking with laughter. A shiver ran down her spine. Were they still watching? Her heart raced, the joy she felt fought against an unshakable doubt. "Hey, it doesn't matter what they think," Rebecca said, as if reading her mind. "We're here, and we're having fun. Let us keep doing that." But that nagging uncertainty lingered like a shadow, threatening to steal away what they just built. Could they really brave this moment together? Or would the whispers return to haunt them as they stepped deeper into the light? Just as their laughter faded, Lily looked over at Rebecca and Jace, a question lingering on her lips. What if would they all have the courage to show the world who they truly were? As the music pulsed beautifully through the crowd, one thing was clear: this was just the beginning of their adventure. As the festival raged on, colors swirling under the warm sun, Lily felt as if she might burst with happiness. With each balloon popped and each vibrant laugh, the shadow of doubt retreated just a little more. The giggles of children, the sweet aroma of cotton candy, and the warmth of a newfound friendship enveloped her. But, as always, lurking in the background were the familiar whispers and judgmental stares, reminders of a world that sometimes struggled to understand. Then, amid their laughter, Lily spotted Mrs. Hayes moving through the crowd, her warm smile cutting through like the sun breaking through clouds. She charged toward them, a glimmer of pride in her eyes. "Look at you three!" She beamed, her delight palpable. "Creating your own joy without a care in the world." In that moment, the weight of disapproval felt lighter. The presence of those who mattered made it easy to dismiss the negativity. Grinning wildly, Lily high-fived Rebecca and Jace as if celebrating a victory. Each pop of the balloons was not just a win in their game but a testament to strength, resilience, and joy. Suddenly, Lily caught her breath as she noticed Mr. Hartman. There he was, standing nearby, his face lit up with pride, watching her with a tenderness that filled her heart. It hit her just then: this was not just about the day or the event. It was about building something more significant than friendships. It was crafting a community that saw each other for who they truly were. Rebecca tugged her hand, pulling her focus back. "Hey, let us go over there." She gestured to a sign that read "Wishing Well," colorful ribbons fluttering in the breeze. "I want to make a wish." As they approached, each tossed a coin into the water, whispering their hopes. Amid the serene ripples, Lily closed her eyes tightly, wishing for the strength to keep this feeling forever. She wanted bravery, connection. She wanted family, but just as their wishes floated away, the girls turned, bolstered by confidence. Jace hesitated, holding his coin. "What if I wished for a place where nobody judged?" he asked, casting a shy glance at the group. They chuckled, then nodded in agreement, a warmth wrapping around them like a blanket. "Absolutely. That could be our clubhouse wish," Rebecca laughed, and for a moment, it truly felt possible. As they left the well, the laughter echoed, a cheerful anthem that pierced through the whispers, re-establishing their bond. "Let us face it together," Lily breathed. "No matter what others say, we'll build this friendship. And build our clubhouse, maybe," Rebecca added, her eyes sparkling with hope. With renewed determination, they returned to the heart of the festivities. But the air shifted again, the whispers growing louder as the trio drew near to a small group of critics. Lily's heart raced, anxiety creeping back in. What if this moment shattered everything? Suddenly, Mr. Hartman approached, his calm demeanor reassuring. "Lily, my dear," he murmured, tilting his head toward the naysayers, "remember, sometimes we have to be louder than the doubts. Show them who you are." With those words echoing, Lily took a deep breath, feeling the power of their bond welling up inside her. "We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be us," she declared, her voice ringing clear above the chatter. Taken aback by her resolve, the group stuttered for words, looking between Lily, Rebecca, and Jace, who stood proudly by her side. A silence fell over the crowd, the tension shattering into whispers of surprise and thoughtfulness. One by one, the group turned away, laughter muted, leaving the three together, united, more vibrant than the whispers that had once threatened them. Lily's heart soared. "We did it!" she cheered, her grin radiating confidence to Mr. Hartman watched her proudly, and in that shared moment, she realized they had all transformed. He had shown her that it wasn't just about overcoming judgment, it was about actively deciding who you would be in the face of it, and as the festival continued, laughter erupted once more. They followed the booming beat of the music, determined to dance away any lingering uncertainty. With hearts pounding and hands high, they embraced every moment, the spills of lemonade, the challenging whispers, and the beautiful chaos of friendship blossoming between them. "Here's to many adventures ahead," Rebecca shouted, raising her cupcake like a trophy. With Jace's approval and Lily's sparkle, they dove into the festivities, their laughter mingling with the music, a symphony of friendship in its truest form. That it was a new beginning, a heartwarming miracle born from loneliness, laughter, and love. Each step taken together was a reminder that resilience, community, and kindness would always trump the petty whispers that tried to weigh them down. As the sun set, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink, they stood together, a picture of hope against an evening sky, a testament to family, even if it wasn't traditional. And in that moment, they truly felt free, embracing the beauty of being exactly who they were meant to be. This is the time to embrace your own journey. Remember, you have the power to create your community of support. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us grow. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this unforgettable ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation and join our journey of kindness. You need to subscribe now because we are just getting started, and this is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share.